Hello and welcome back to the Isle of Wight College Open Day. We're here to talk with a further tutor about another area of college curriculum. And I'm very pleased to have Steve Winfield Hunt, who's the curriculum manager for construction, and to talk to us for the next 10 minutes about some of the areas that students can study at the college. Just a reminder that throughout the afternoon you can contact us to talk about both construction or other areas across the college. So have a look on our website www.iwcollege.ac.uk or contact us at info@iwcollege.ac.uk to find out more about what courses are on offer. And you can also telephone us on 01983 526 631. That's 526 631. And someone will be able to put you in contact with a tutor for any of the curriculum areas on the website, and someone can give you one-to-one advice. But for the next 10 minutes we're going to talk about construction, and Steve's just going to give us a quick overview about some of the areas, and as I say, for the rest of the afternoon, if you're particularly interested in one of the areas Steve talks about, you can contact us and arrange to speak to Steve or one of the course tutors in his area to find out more about what's on offer. So Steve, welcome, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
If you'd like to start, perhaps give us an overview of what areas do you cover in construction in terms of trades?
Looking at trades, I cover painting and decorating, carpentry and joinery, bricklaying and plumbing.
Cool, so quite a wide range of different skills there that people can go into.
Yeah.
And what levels of study are available in those areas?
We start at level 1 and we progress right the way through to level 2, level 3. From level 3 you can then progress. It would be university after that.
Yeah.
In that instance, in the areas we've had students who have gone on to become architects through the university route and become successful site managers. So the progression is, the routes are there and available.
Yeah, and there's a really varied careers, aren't there, in this industry. Can you give us a flavour of what kind of things people can go into? Obviously, they're going to go into a trade, but what kind of sort of work situation could they find themselves in?
Each area. You can generalise from each area, because you'll have commercial, you'll have domestic, and you'll also have industrial. So if you look at the domestic side of life for a painter, so it's house painting, decorating interiors and exteriors. Commercially, you'd be looking for a painter, you'd be looking at hospitals, schools, shopping centres, and then industrial, you're looking at sort of factories, warehouses, that type of thing. Same sort of roles apply for a bricklayer. So you've got sites on the island. Barrett's are a big builder on the island. Stonehams are another one. With the bigger sites, with the bricklayers, they can progress up to level 3, which is more skill, a higher skill level. They also work in industrial situations as well, but more for the foundations and what have you. With the site carpentry, the domestic side is hanging doors, fitting skirting, fitting kitchens and such like. Industrial is stud partitioning throughout office blocks. One of the roles that carpenters tend to do is the fit and install commercial toilets.
Oh right, yeah.
So it's very wide and varied.
Yeah.
As with the plumber, a plumber by definition does water.
Yeah.
Once they've completed the level 3 and they've achieved an MVQ, they then move into the gas, where they become a central heating engineer.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the gas, they need they need to be registered by Gas Safe, because it's you play about with gas, you get it wrong, it can be quite disastrous.
It's important to get those things right.
It is, and we offer those qualifications as well.
Yeah.
So
there's some really different and varied options. It's not just about becoming a plumber or a carpenter. You can go into working in commercial or industry, or you can work for yourself.
Yes.
Lots of opportunities to do that on the island, isn't there? If you want to work on the island or go and work on the mainland in various different
Being
settings.
self-employed is quite a big route that our students follow, they will primarily end up, they'll do an MBQ, an apprenticeship through with one of the companies on the island, and then we've had some very good successful students who have moved on and set themselves up, self-employed, now taking on students, taking on apprentices in their own right. Yeah. So you know, the door is open to them.
Yeah. And in terms of getting them ready for work, what kind of work experience are you able to offer students in different areas? Can you give us a few examples?
Well, our biggest area for work experience would be the paint and decorating area and the site carpentry area. We do get them out in brickwork and in plumbing as well, where they work generally with one-to-one with a small gang of either local bricklayers, or they'll work with the smaller companies or the bigger companies within the plumbing trade. The painting and decorating, people love them because they come in and they'll do a fantastic job. It's an instant impact. We do a lot of community projects. We get involved with the zoo from a carpentry and joinery side, and painting hand in hand. We've worked in the for the festival, where they design stages, they design sets, and on the back of that, the students who were involved with that got a free ticket for the weekend. So there's always a plus to it.
Excellent. Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots. We try to get involved in as many community projects as we can, you know, because it's giving something back to the community, which is what the college is about.
Yeah. And what's the sort of balance between practical and theory? I know obviously it'll vary on courses, but what is there sort of a general sort of you have to do? Is it all practical, or is there a bit of theory?
No, it's in reality it's more like 60-40, 60 practical, 40 theory. We do talk lessons. In all of the lessons there's an element of maths and English. You know, you need to know how much paint you need to cover to paint somebody's house. You need to know how much wallpaper you need. The same with brickwork. You need to know how many bricks, so you need to know how to calculate that out. And also, if you go self-employed, you need to know how to communicate with the clients, because you know, if you are clear and concise, then the client will ask you back and they'll recommend you. So that's always a positive.
And how are the courses and the qualifications assessed? How do students get their qualifications?
We do. It's a mixture of practical. We do practical assessments, but it's also we have online exams through the awarding body, and there's also end of unit exams which are invigilated in-house by the staff themselves. Yeah. So it's practical and it's theory as well.
Yeah. But there's an opportunity to you get assessed as you're going along. So
yes, it's ongoing assessment. Yeah, so
it's not all in one go.
All in one go. No, the apprenticeships are moving away from ongoing assessments to an endpoint assessment. So, but that's coming in the near future.
Yeah. And talking of the staff, what kind of skills and backgrounds do the staff, including yourself, have?
Very wide, very varied. The majority of the staff have an industrial background. They've been through college themselves. As an apprentice, they've worked on sites either on the island or on the mainland, up and down the mainland, and they've got a variety. They've done a variety of roles, variety of different jobs. You know, when you start out at 16. I mean, I didn't know what I wanted to do at 16. I started as an upholsterer. Here we are now teaching carpentry and joinery, but that's just how your career path goes. You don't know where it's going to go, but if you follow something that you are passionate about, then that's the way where you'll make your money and you'll enjoy your life. Yeah.
Yes, and hopefully you and your colleagues can continue to inspire more students over the coming years. And thinking about, obviously it's been difficult over the last few months with COVID, and that's meant that you've had to deliver quite a lot of or try to deliver as much of your teaching as possible online. So you've been doing classes online and giving students work to do at home. Fortunately, with obviously with social distancing in place, we're starting to get students back in to do practicals.
Yes.
And how have you found that's been going over the last few weeks?
They've been enthusiastic. They've been keen to come back. I mean, some of the guys they've not ventured past the front doorstep, since the day of lockdown. They've got vulnerable members of the family. They've come into college. We've set the standard of how we want to work this, how we want to do with the social distancing. They've bought into it 110%.
Yeah.
So it's worked really well.
Yeah, and I know you've spent a lot of time making sure everybody's safely distanced and that people can wear masks if they want, and there's we've got all the hygiene there. So we've sort of done a really good job, and hopefully over in September we'll be able to use that what we've learned from the last few weeks, depending on what circumstances we have go forward. And finally, is there anything else you'd want to say about the courses on offer, or about construction as a career? And
well, it's the door's wide open to you. The majority of the building sites that I've worked on or the site manager, which is one of the progression routes you can do when you go through from a level 3, you can progress into university. But most of the site managers that I've come across has either been a carpenter or a bricklayer. Plumbers, you want to be a plumber, you're going to have a very fruitful life because they are one of the top earners in the industry. Painters and decorators tend to be the more creative. So the opportunities are vast. And I think on the back of this COVID event that we've got, there will be some interesting opportunities available for students to grasp and go forth with.
So regardless of whether or not you want to, just be good at your skill, your trade, or progress into a more, sort of bigger role,
the
or
opportunities.
Run your own business or whatever, or run a site. There's lots of different options. So
Definitely.
That's great.
Definitely.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay.
So if anyone would like to talk to Steve or his team about any of the trades he's talked about and what qualifications and courses are available at the college, please do contact us. And again, you can contact us at info@iwcollege.ac.uk, that's email, or you can telephone on 526 631, that's 526 631, or contact us via social media, and we can arrange for someone to talk to you one-to-one, and they can talk about your own specific circumstances and what course is right for you, and talk about the different options. Well, thank you for joining us, and we'll be back shortly with our next session.